everyone, I'm Ryan. You're watching a 60 cycle hum, and in this video I'm going to do a pickup swap on my SG here. For those of you not familiar with this guitar, long story short, I bought this basically in parts. It was completely disassembled in a Craigslist ad for 250 bucks. It came with the stock pickups, a Gibson Burstbucker, and I forget what the other one was. But anyways, I didn't like the pickups from the get-go, and so I started swapping around pretty early. I swapped out the pick guard for this crazy thick white plastic thing here. I ended up with a set of GFS pickups. I've got a Dream 180 in the bridge and a Dream 90 in the neck, which is a P90 style pickup in a humbucker case. Also, this has a Gun Street wiring shop harness in it with a push-pull for an out-of-phase option. You might have heard me messing with that earlier. So anyways, what are we gonna do? What do I have here? I've got a box of pickups from Sonic Pickups. These were procured through a sort of trade deal via Grant Wilson over at Big Ear Pedals. He wanted to do a trade with Sonic Pickups, but he didn't actually want anything. So he had pickups sent to me. I talked to Sonic about, a few different guitars that I thought could use a fresh set of pickups, and we landed on the SG. So I don't even remember the specs on these pickups. Maybe there will be a spec card in here. We were talking about this, and then COVID happened. So my mind has been erased since then. And, everyone's schedule kind of got interrupted for a while. Lots of little extra goodies in here. Screws, switch tips. He makes these little custom switch tips. This one's got a skull. Steve got a set of pickups too. It has a rocket ship shaped switch tip, which is pretty nifty. Nice wrapping here. It's nice when a company goes above and beyond with the packaging just to make you feel like you got something special, This is the bridge, the Bygone 59. Good. He marked it. 8K. Sounds like the range I like my pickups to be. It's almost like I ordered these for myself. This must be the neck. Obviously. The Bygone 59 neck position, 6.8K. I like humbuckers that are lower output. I feel like I get more better tone from lower output pickups, and then I let the drive pedals do the output sort of stuff. I should run through the existing pickups really quick, clean. I did a little intro with some overdrive over it, but we can hear what these sound like. I don't think they sound bad, but over the years, this guitar has kind of fallen out of favor with me, tone-wise. It just sounds kind of dead sometimes. I actually really like the neck P90, but there's something about the bridge pickup that just hasn't been doing it for me. That was the bridge. Here's the middle position. Very nice. Kind of pretty, right? The neck pickup. Nice bit of like quack and character. I feel like I should put that pickup into something else. I think it's a decent sounding pickup from GFS. Yeah, going back to the bridge, it kind of sounds kind of plucky and thuddy and dull in a not fun way, where that neck pickup kind of shines in comparison. All right, now we've got a decent idea of what we're starting out with here. Kill the amps, and let's start getting unscrewy with this thing. Where's my screwdriver? So yeah, whatever the previous owner refinished this with, it's not sticking to the original kind of faded finish on here. And this relicking that's going on is really just from my forearm rubbing against the guitar while I'm playing it. Like the paint just kind of flakes off. So if, in theory, I spent a lot more time playing this, it would develop a pretty decent relic over time. Some of these screw holes are stripped. The screws are just floating in there. Maybe I should do a little toothpick action before I put it all back together. This guitar deserves a nice deep cleaning too. Do the bridge and the tailpiece to the side. Oh, I always forget about that. I've actually got to unscrew these little wheels just to get the pickguard off, which means I'm going to have to completely redial the action. Cool design choice, Gibson. Maybe you can see the finish decoloration underneath the pickguard there. It started out a lot more green, and the sun has faded it to more of a blue. Even though this thing lives in a garage, and when it's not in the garage, it's not really near windows or anything like that. Maybe it's just like a flat-out oxidation sort of situation. At some point, someone got really crazy in the neck pocket here, and looks like they were like grinding out or scraping out wood to get this center block out of here. Maybe even burning it out. It's really gnarly. I should take a close-up photo of that. I don't know if the overhead camera is going to pick it up. This really gross kind of texture in here. I don't even know how anyone would achieve that. It's pretty torn up, which is kind of problematic because there's already such a small amount of wood around the neck joint of an SG. I wish they had left that little bit. They were dropping some kind of pickup in there that, you know, this was interrupting it. Super weird. But still, when you see an SG on Craigslist pop up for 250 bucks, you just go grab it. No questions asked, right? You just go grab it. That's what I did. SGs are kind of interesting beasts as far as guitars go, especially as far as Gibson guitars go. They have that Gibson feeling neck, but there's something weirdly twangy and plucky about them. In feel, they're not that kind of throaty Les Paul thud that you expect from a Gibson style guitar. Or maybe that's just my experience with them so far. I don't know if you can see how splotchy this finish is. There's like green splotches throughout the blue. There's something kind of charming about it though. Time to heat up that iron. I'm going to start with the neck pickup first just because the wiring is the most simple. See if I can do this without burning myself. It would be nice, but sometimes that's too much to ask for, right? I could coil split these new pickups, but the output is already pretty low, so I wouldn't expect, you know, like an amazing single coil tone out of them. But then again, you never know, right? I have enough single coil guitars around that I don't need to coil split everything, right? You guys should know that I am not a guitar tech. I am not a luthier or anything like that. I am a hobbyist. And what that means is that you can do this too, and you should give it a try. You should not be afraid to make modifications to your instruments. Don't go all the way cheap, but get something that has a decent amount of power so that you can melt the solder quickly and easily. That is the main issue with cheap soldering irons, is that they don't get hot enough. But get something hot enough and experiment. Don't be afraid to mess up your guitars. There's nothing you can do to mess up your guitar in the wiring that a tech that you otherwise would have hired can not fix. So might as well give it a shot. You might learn that you enjoy it. I honestly think it's a fairly zen activity working on guitars like this. I should check this just to be sure, but I'm going off my experience and intuition. Very handy chart here. That should be it. I shouldn't need to solder anything else. I won't really know if I mess something up until I've got strings on it all the way. Which shouldn't be too much of a surprise. I'm just swapping stuff out. I'm not, redoing the whole deal here. So I think this pickguard is a lot of fun. It's this super thick white plastic. I found this randomly on eBay. I have no idea how you would even find this anywhere else. But there's something really fun about just this super thick, stark white pickguard here. It's very un-Gibson, which is why I think I like it. Originally this came with a black pickguard, black knobs, black switch tip, the whole normal SG sort of thing. This is the part I always struggle with. It seems like it's like a feat of gymnastics. And a lot of times I end up trimming these springs because it's just kind of a trick to get everything connected. This is where people who actually know how to do this stuff professionally, look what I'm doing. I'm just like, oh man, there's an easy way to do that, Ryan. Why are you making life hard on yourself? I don't know. I don't know the tricks. Tell me in the comments. I'm gonna trim the spring. I feel like I'm probably being a dumbass every time I do this, but it's what's worked for me in the past. Because the spring is longer than the screw. So I trimmed the spring to be shorter than the screw so I can get the screw started into the screw hole. I've never had any issue with not having enough tension on a spring after doing it. But like I said, I'm not a tech. I'm not a luthier. So I'm sure there's a better, more official way to do that sort of thing. But until someone tells me in the comments, I'm ignorant. It'd be funny if a guitar tech shows up in the comments and it's like, no, trimming the springs is what we do. The springs come extra long so that you have room to trim them, and then I'll feel vindicated. What do you think the likelihood is of that? Probably not high, right? It doesn't feel like there's, vindication in the forecast for me. Some of these screw holes were super stripped out. I'm not going to glue them. I'm just going to put a little bit of extra wood in there. I just stick in the toothpick and I snap it off. And it gives a little extra friction for the screw threads to hold on to. If it was the strap button, I would glue it. But because it's the pickguard, it doesn't need to, withstand the most ridiculous forces in the world, being a pickguard. All I've got is 11s, so it's getting 11s. And I can tell this pickup is way too high right now. They haven't been a sponsor for a while, but I still really love these D'Addario cleaning and maintenance kits. It's just nice to have everything packed up in the, in one easy to grab thing that's always there. Sometime I'm going to invest in one of those, powered string winders, just so I can be all the way lazy. It is tuner time. And I'm going to need to do a little bit of setup tweak to the bridge action, I'm sure. It actually doesn't look too bad. If it's too low and buzzing out, then I'll adjust it. But for the time being, I'll just get it tuned up and we'll see how it sounds. All right, moment of truth. I don't remember any of the things I was playing earlier with the old pickups. I think I was doing kind of like a clean B sort of thing. I think that pickup needs to come up. It sounds good. It doesn't have that kind of like dull, dead sound I was getting from the GFS bridge pickup. Let's see how the neck sounds. Ooh, that sounds pretty. The GFS Dream 90 P90 style thing, where did it go? Here it is. Had quite a bit of like low end to it, and this doesn't have that low end, I can tell right away. But it sounds more balanced, it sounds clear. It's still plenty warm, it's just not that boomy low. Let's see how the neck sounds. Ooh, that sounds pretty. Nice bit of like quack and character. Yeah, I need to raise the action a bit. I've heard that Gibson bridges can sag after a while and you lose your action kind of on your D and G strings. It doesn't look like it sagged. It still has a curve to it. I think I just need to raise the whole thing and maybe give the truss a slight bit of tweak to get a slight bit more relief on there. This guitar is not hurting in the speed department. It's a fast player already. I don't mind sacrificing a little bit of action to have notes that ring out a little bit better. Some overdrive from my 50-50. Throw in the HM2 for kicks and giggles. Yeah, I gotta bring up the action a bit. The low end is still hurting, the low strings on those higher frets. It sounds good though. And it's certainly, you know, rekindling my interest in this guitar, which is part of the reason to do pickup swaps and modifications and stuff like that. If you've got a guitar sitting around and, you know, it's not doing it for you anymore, but you don't want to get rid of it, you're like, something's off, I don't connect with it. Might as well, you know, have some fun, try swapping some things. I wonder if I should put this little sparkle switch tip on here. It's a closer match to the other white hardware. I mean, nothing else is glittery on here, but the color is correct. That works. Alright, I think I'm going to hang out and do some sort of loopy jam outro here, have some fun with it, get reacquainted with this guitar now that I've made, you know, a simple pickup swap modification. Huge thanks to Sonic Pickups for sourcing me with these. Huge thanks to Grant Wilson over at Bigger Pedals. Click links for both of those guys down below to support them, to check out their wares and whatnot. And you know what? Like, subscribe, dislike, leave me a rude, nasty comment. Support us on Patreon. Click the links, buy a shirt. You know, do all the normal YouTube stuff and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.